Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as my audio and the video is absolutely clear, please do let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you? Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope that everyone is fine. And if you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there is no problem with the audio or the video, we will then continue with the same. Please do let me know, guys. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. The voice is great. Okay, no issues in that. Okay, and the audio and the video is absolutely fine. That's great. Hello, Shubham. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello. So, in the next 7 days, we are going to learn JavaScript and React.js. That is going to be our aim for these boot camps that we are going to start off with. Today we are going to learn about the basic concepts in web development, as well as I will be answering some of the questions related to either the certifications and the attendance as well, so you don't have to worry about the same. Okay, I'm just waiting for many of the students to join. As soon as everyone is like most of the students are able to join, we'll start with our today's class. Will that be fine with everyone? Please do let me know, guys. Hello, everyone. Hello. No issues for those who haven't registered for this bootcamp on React.js. There is no issues in that. You guys just fill out the attendance form for this session, and that we'll consider it as your registration. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Samruddhi. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes for everyone to join us. Those students who will be able to join us, we'll start with them. Okay, we'll start with our classes and then we'll continue with the same. Okay, guys. The attendance form, Kushi will be providing it at the end of today's class. Okay, how to mark the attendance, where to mark the attendance, all the things will be provided at the end of today's class. Okay, so there will be a lot many number of questions that will be like repeated again and again in the live chat. So if you guys are already know the answers to the questions, please try to help your fellow friends out so that the time is not wasted and we can focus upon the major concepts itself. Srishti Garg, final registration, where will we be able to get them? Shrishti, you can get them via joining any of our Telegram group or the WhatsApp groups as well. The link to the Telegram channel is down in the description of this particular video. You can join the Telegram group from there. There are almost 1,05,000 students on the Telegram group. And on the WhatsApp groups, there are more than 2 lakh students cumulatively. So can we learn React as we haven't learned JavaScript? So one of the best things that is there about these boot camps that we conduct. So first of all, it's free of cost. Like there's no cost associated with the same. And it's of 7 days. And the second thing is you don't need to know anything from the start. Just the only thing that you should be familiarizing yourself is in English. That's it, to understand the lecture. So JavaScript will also be taught in this 7 days. Okay, you don't have to worry about the same. Okay, so are you going to take both the boot camps? Presently I will be taking the Python and deep learning bootcamp for 1 or 2 days more, and then Sahil Rahman will be taking up the Python and deep learning bootcamp. He has previously interned with HP, then Porsche and many other companies as well, and I will be continuously taking up the React.js and JavaScript bootcamp. Okay, is Shape AI and DevTown Bootcamps the same? Yes, they are the same company. You don't have to worry about the same. Okay. Would the installation process be covered today? So one of the best things about the bootcamps is we try that you don't even need to have a laptop to complete these bootcamps. So we'll try our level best that you don't need to install anything in your laptops. We'll use some online platforms itself, like Code Sandbox and all these kind of platforms to write our React.js code. You don't have to worry about the same. Okay. Can core field students get benefited from this? One of the best things with web development in general is that you can become a web developer even if you are in school. Leave it be college. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to be from a particular branch or a particular college to get into web development. You can be a great web developer earning a lot of money. The only thing is, like, you need to know the technicalities. That is the best. Okay, this session is for JavaScript and React.js, right? Yes, Khushi, it's for the same. To learn JS, what we learn initially, sir. Pankaj, you don't have to worry. Today we are not going to start with JS. We will be starting from tomorrow. Okay. And today we are just going to learn about the basic concepts that are there in like web development in general, to understand what React.js is, why is it used, what are the other components of a website, and how does a website function. So that's why. That's great, Ginny. Okay. Yes, Kushal, you will be getting certificates after this bootcamp. Okay, every bootcamp. So three things are covered in every single bootcamp that we have. First of all, the bootcamp, you don't need to know anything from the start. Everything will be covered in the bootcamp. Second thing is, every bootcamp will be accompanied by a project. So at the end of this bootcamp as well, we will be working on a project, and that you can put up in your resume as well. The third thing is that every bootcamp is accompanied by 3 certificates. What are those certificates? How to get those certificates? What are the criteria for getting those certificates? I will be telling you at the end of today's class. But remember one thing, there is no payment for the certificates. The certificates are free. The entire bootcamp is for free. You don't have to pay anything for the bootcamps, neither for the certificates. Okay, please remember that. So these 3 things are accompanied by every single bootcamp. The only thing that we request from you guys is to your help. That is the only thing that we request. That please help us to reach out to your friends as well, to reach out to your colleagues, to reach out to your colleges, so that these boot camps, these things that we are able to organize for free, we are able to approach them, and like as many number of students are able to join, that's much more better for us, because we don't take any type of payments. Okay, think of it as a type of a payment itself, that okay, these are free on a monetary basis, but the only thing that we want from you guys is your help to reach out to as many students as possible. Okay. Sir, JavaScript and React.js, all concepts will be covered. Sagar, it's a very huge arena. If you are just learning JavaScript, it takes 30 days to cover JavaScript. And for React.js, as like JavaScript and React.js together will take almost 35 to 40 days to cover. Every single day, 1.5 hours each day. Only then you will be able to cover both the topics completely. These bootcamps are meant to be an introduction to you towards that particular technology, and hands-on introduction. You'll be able to create your very first project, a basic project in fact. But yes, you will be working in JavaScript, you will be learning the basics of JavaScript, the basics of React.js, and a basic project as well. Okay. Can we attend for interview from knowledge gained by this bootcamp? Yes, you will be able to attend some of the interviews, but not for senior positions, mostly for junior positions. See, learning web development almost takes 3 months. Around 3 months is the bare minimum that you need to invest to learn web development to its very core. So that's the time that you will have to invest. Okay, what software do you use today, sir? Today we will just learn about the basics. We'll learn about the concept behind web development itself. Okay. Sir, I haven't registered, but I'm attending it now. Will I get a certificate? Yes, Hussein, you will be able to get the certificates. Just fill up the attendance forms. Okay. Okay, so I don't think so more people are going to join us. No issues in that. We will get started with today's bootcamp. Okay, guys, are you excited for the same? I'll just open up Paint right over here. I will delete everything up from here. Okay, so some of the basic concepts that I want you guys to understand about web development in general. So we'll start from right over there. We'll go into JavaScript, learning about the technology and everything from tomorrow. Today we are just going to deal with something pretty basic. I don't want to overburden you on the first day itself. Okay, So web development, many people, one of the most highest paying jobs. First of all, many people will be saying to you that okay, AI jobs are the highest paying, data science jobs are the highest paying, but at the end of the day, developers are the highest paid people in the entire world. Okay, web developers. Why is that the case? Because they just don't work for just one company. A web developer can work for at least 4 or 5 companies at a time. It's called as freelancing. Okay, you can earn a lot of money except your company as well by taking side projects on. The second thing is web development is a very vast field. There are various technologies into play. There are various like expertises that people are having. So for example, there's a full stack developer that knows everything. There's a front end engineer that just knows the front end part. The back end engineer that just knows the back end part. The DevOps engineer, a cloud engineer, a let's say design engineer, a UI UX designer. So there are various components of a particular website, and that is what we are going to understand. What are these positions? What are the things that you need to know for these positions? Where does React come into all of this? So first of all, let's try to understand how a website functions. Okay, how a website works. Let's try to first of all understand that. Think of website as a restaurant. Okay, whenever you visit a restaurant, there are two portions for the same. The first portion is your restaurant itself. Okay, there are tables. Okay, there are chairs right over here. Sorry for my bad drawing, but like I hope that you guys are able to understand that these are chairs. And then there will be like some decoration around. Okay, some flower pots right over here. It looks more like a broccoli leaf, but I hope that you are able to get a clear picture. This is what you are able to see. Okay, this restaurant is what you are able to see, what you are able to interact with, what you are able to use. The second portion of this restaurant is the kitchen. You are having your flames, you are having your utensils on these flames. Okay, you are having your chefs right over here. Let's make them wear a hat. Then you are having your let's take up some burners, some shelves right over here, some plates stacked around. So you are able to understand. So there are two portions. One is the back end portion, that is the kitchen, and one is the front end portion, that is the restaurant itself. Now you as a person are only able to interact with the front portion of the restaurant. You are only able to see and interact with the front portion of the restaurant that looks appealing, that everything is perfect. You will sit there, you will have your dinner. And the back end is something that is not visible to you. It's not visible to you. You are only able to see the front end. The back end is not visible to you, but everything happens in the back end. Your food gets processed, your food is stored. So there are like, then one more portion is there in the kitchen, that is the refrigerator. And the food, your entire food is stored in that particular refrigerator itself. And this food is then taken to the kitchen where it is cooked, where it is processed, and then this is delivered to the so you are having your different people, okay, that is the waiters, who then take your food from right over here and then supply it to you. Let's make him wear a bow tie. So he will take the food and then supply it to you guys. So this is how a website also functions. A website also on a very high level have these features. So for example, if I'm going to google.com, let's go to google.com right now. Okay. Let's go to Google first of all. So this is your google.com. You're able to see this website. Okay, you're able to interact this website. This is the front end of the website itself. If I'm going to LinkedIn, okay, if I'm going to LinkedIn right now, this is the Shape AI LinkedIn page. You can follow us right over here. Okay, so all these things that you're able to see on your screen are the front end. Okay, what you're able to see, it's beautiful. You are able to interact with it. Whether you go to LinkedIn, Instagram, for example. So I mean, coming to Instagram, you're able to see all these posts. So let me just like first of all the post that I've made today. I think so. I haven't. So I've already liked it. So okay. So you are able to see all these things on your screen. Okay. All these things are the front end. What you are able to see, what you are able to interact with. Okay. Similarly, that is the front end of the entire website. Now you have seen the front end. So the website itself, what you are able to see on your computer, on your desktop, that is your front end. Okay, now coming to the back end. Okay, what's the back end? Okay, this was the front end, this is the back. What is a backend? What is the backend for a website? A backend is a particular application that have been put up on some servers. Okay, it can be on GCP, that is a server by Google. Servers are nothing else but computers that have been provided by various different companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft. So Google provides GCP, Amazon provides AWS, and Microsoft provides Azure, and many other companies as well, like hostinger.com or something like that. You can go further with it. Alligator.com, all these kind of websites. GoDaddy is also providing you servers. So you guys are getting servers, you are running your application, your backend applications right over there. A backend application is usually a piece of code that processes all the logic of your data. Okay, so for example, let's go back to our Instagram, let's say. So when you're logging in, where is this, like, how is it able to authenticate that, okay, this user ID has this password and you are able to enter it correctly? It sends for your user ID to and password to the servers. The server checks, like it opens up a database. Okay, so server has a database as well. Think of databases as your refrigerators. Think of databases as your refrigerators that contain all the data. What about the data? So your login ID and password, your posts, these images that you are able to see. Okay, these images, these likes, these insights, when I'm able to see the insights right over here. So all these things are being able to, like, they are being sent and stored somewhere right over there. So all this data is being stored in some databases, and that data and these servers, it's the responsibility of the backend application stored in the server to process this data and check it, optimize it, put up all the logical operations that are there to feed this data into the front end that you are able to see right over here. So my LinkedIn is totally, my Instagram page will be totally different from your Instagram page. It won't have the same post, the same number of likes, the same number of comments, because we are having two different accounts. So all this logic is being handled by the backend application. Now these waiters that were there in the middle, these are the APIs, application programming interface. Okay, so these are the APIs. The role of the APIs is to take up data from the front end, provide it to the back end, or take up the data from the back end and provide it to the front end. What do I mean by that? So for example, you're logging in your ID and password. So that data first needs to travel back to the backend itself. The backend is somewhere stored on some computer in Dallas, okay, in USA, and you are here in Bangalore, India. When you are putting that ID and password, it needs to be sent back to the server. It needs to be checked in the server and then sent back again that, okay, this person is like authenticated or this person is not authenticated. So that is being handled by the waiters that are called as the APIs. Okay, that are called as the APIs. Okay, so your backend, your front end, your databases, your APIs, these are the basic concepts that come together to make a website. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Amazing. You guys are really smart, man. Like, you guys are able to understand everything. Great. Let's continue with the same. Okay. It's great that you guys are able to understand. I thought that I would have to repeat myself. No issues in that. Okay, so next what we are going to learn about is what are the different technologies that are there in web development, where there are used, how there are used, what are the different career opportunities in this field itself. Okay, these are the different things that we are going to study about right now. Okay, so let's first start off with the different fields that are there. So first of all, any website first needs to be designed. Okay, you are having, let's say, this phone. Okay, Apple made this phone at any point of time. So what happens? Does Apple on any particular day just wakes up from nowhere and says that, okay, like, yeah, make the phone, like, here's the phone? No, there's a huge process that goes on behind making this phone. And the first process of that is that, okay, we need to design this phone first of all. How does this phone needs to look like? We need to first design this. So instead of wasting billions of dollars to just start manufacturing a random phone. They'll first design it in a computer as just as a picture. They'll first design it. They will look at these designs of various different phones and try to identify which one is best, and then go further from there. Similarly, while making a website itself, it's a huge job to make a website. The front end, the back end, the deployment, the orchestration, it's a huge task. So instead of deploying like 15 different sites and giving it to your client that, okay, now you choose which website do you want, you'll first make a prototype. You will first make a design for that website. And you will consult with the client. And once you have finalized the design, then you will go into making that website. Now, this design portion is what is called as UI and UX. User interface and user experience. What does this mean? UI is basically like, okay, the website will look like this, these will be the colors on the website, these will be the pictures, the button will float in an animation like this, all these different things, okay, is the UI, how the website should look. Okay, that is the UI. And the UX, that is user experience, is like, okay, so the button should be on the left hand side top corner or on the right hand side top corner. This will be easily accessible to the user. That is how the experience is of the user while using your application. So UI UX, that is the first thing. Usually, like for documentation purposes, the technologies that you will be using is Notion. I personally use Notion for the same. For designing a particular website, so Notion is basically nothing else but like Word. If you want to use like Word as well, like Office or Word or something like that, you can definitely do that. Docs as well. But Notion is something that is much more easily manageable. I will definitely suggest you guys to use it. The second is going further with designing the website. To design website, there are various different things that you can use. So for example, you can use, so I personally prefer Figma. Okay, I can even show you guys. Let me show you guys if Figma is open here. Have to check. Give me a second, guys. It has been a while since I have previously opened up Figma, but if it's open, I will try to show you guys some of the previous projects that we have worked with. Okay, so it has opened. Okay, so let's try to understand. So one of the products that we are currently working on for our students is the SOD program. Okay, so let us just open up in a new tab. I don't remember which Figma file was the same. These have been developed by our UI UX like person. Okay, his name is Prasan. I don't remember what terminology he is using for naming himself. Yeah, as you are able to see, so for example, this is just images. Okay, just give me a second, guys. I am so sorry for the same. It was my wet. Are you guys able to listen to me properly? Is there any issues with the audio or video? Are you guys able to listen to me properly? Please let me know. Okay. I'm so sorry for the same. Okay, thank you so much. So let's move on with the same. So this is one of the like prototypes that we had created for our SOD platform. This platform is going to be released in 1 month or so. We are very excited for the same. So let me just show you some of the demo. So this is the basic login ID and page. You can go to the sign up. You can sign up for the same. Back to login. I'm logging into the platform. So you can enroll in a particular course. These are the different courses that are available. You can put on the tracks, all the courses and everything. Then you can go back to your course as well. So once you have enrolled in a particular course, you are having this entire section. You can check out the syllabus. The everything is right over here. So like this, we had created an entire program. Okay, so not just this, there's a lot more number of things as well. Like let us just see. So SOD program. So that was just a prototype that I was able to see. When you're creating a particular like UI file, so it will look something like this. This is how you actually look into a particular file itself. So this is how it will actually look like. So that is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this is what we use, but there are many companies that will be using various different technologies. So for example, if you are having iOS, so you are using Mac, sorry, not iOS, you are using MacBook, then you can use Sketch, SKETCH, Sketch. That is also a great technology to use for the same, for UI UX. You can use technologies like Adobe XD, and there are various other softwares as well, like plenty of softwares. These are some of the 3 softwares that I personally like. You can go further with that. For market research and something, you can directly use Google Forms. Like you need to first of all ask your clients that what are the features that they want from the application itself. So for that, you can directly just talk to them, or if there are a lot of many number of people who are going to use your platform, then you can just circulate a Google form amongst them. So Notion, Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD. Then for creating vectors, okay, so you will be using a lot of different graphics as well. You can use Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so Adobe Illustrator is something that you can use to create various type of vector graphics that you can use for your websites, all these animations and all those kind of stuff. That is also something that you can do. That is what the UI UX part of like the person. If you're creative, if you like to do all these, then the UI UX profile would be the better option for you. The second one is the front end engineer. What is a front end engineer? So front end engineer will be focusing upon what you are able to see on your screen, the website that you are able to see and use. He will be creating that. What he will be doing is he will be taking these Figma files, the prototype that they have developed. These are just images, and then he will be creating it into a fully functioning website. Okay, by fully functional, I mean something that you are able to see and use. Okay, so he will be able to create that. For that, you need to first start off with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then you need to learn let's say Bootstrap. You need to learn Tailwind CSS. Then you will have to, so these are just the basics. You will not get any job via this. You need to extend yourself beyond that. The next thing that you need to focus upon is React.js, then Redux. Okay, you need to focus upon let's say if you don't want to go with React.js, you can go with Angular, but I will still suggest to go further with React.js itself. Angular is something that is going to be obsolete in the few years itself. No use to learn something that you will have to relearn. So go forward with React.js. Most of your websites, whether it be Instagram, LinkedIn, Netflix, all of them have been made in React.js, Facebook. So React.js is the better option to go forward with. Okay, so that is the job of the front-end engineer. These are the basic technologies that a front-end engineer uses in his day-to-day life. Okay, then you're going further with, in this bootcamp we are going to focus upon JavaScript and React.js. We'll learn a bit about HTML, CSS as well, not a lot, just a bit, but yes, we'll be focusing upon JavaScript and React.js. Next is the backend engineer. Now a backend engineer is someone who will be creating your application that is produced in the server itself. In that case, the code, like the code that's application, the API that you're creating can be written in any language. Okay, it can be written in Go, it can be written in Python, it can be written in JavaScript, it can be written in Java, it can be written in C Sharp. Okay, so there are various different languages that you can learn. Okay, but the most used language is JavaScript. Usually when you say to someone that I am a web developer, I'm a backend engineer, he will 90% of the time think that you are a JavaScript developer. That is the language that you'll use as a backend application developer itself, most of the time. Okay, there are other languages, I will let you know about that. JavaScript, then for JavaScript, for example, you are using React.js here. Similarly, it's Node.js right over here for backend, Express.js. That is all for the backend engineer. If you are a JavaScript engineer, if you are a Python engineer, then you will be going further with Django, or like you can also go further with Flask. Okay, these are the two backend frameworks that you can use for backend engineering if you are a Python developer. If you are a C# developer, then you can use your .NET as your framework of choice for backend engineering. And then if you are a Java developer, then you can use Spring.js, okay, Spring Boot.js for your backend engineering projects. Now that is all about the backend engineers, the languages and the frameworks. So what do I mean by frameworks? Like for example, you want to create a table. Okay, you want to create a table. You know you have to create a table every single day. What would be better? To have tools in your toolkit that are just custom made to help you fasten the process of creating a table. Yes, you can use a rock and a chisel to make a table as well, but you don't want to do that. It will take years to make one table. You want to have power tools that are just custom made for making tables every single day. Similarly, these frameworks, Node.js, Express.js, Django, Flask, .NET, Spring Boot, all these are frameworks that have tools that are dedicated for making backend applications. So these are hence used a lot. Okay, so these are the UI UX, front-end engineering and the backend engineering. Now moving on to two other engineering departments that are of extreme importance when you are talking about like web development. Okay, so the first one is, let me see, cloud engineer. What do you mean by cloud engineer? So all these applications, all this, so like the backend application that you were able to produce, you need to deploy it to a server on AWS or GCP or Azure. Okay, so these are all the cloud services that are there, okay, by various different companies. GCP is by Google, AWS is by Amazon, and Azure is by Microsoft. So all these cloud services, you need to deploy a backend code too. So that is the job of the cloud engineer. He needs to know everything that is there about AWS if he's an AWS cloud engineer, or GCP if he's a GCP developer, or Azure. If you are learning AWS, okay, that is the preferred one because almost 80% of the entire internet lives on AWS itself. If you are an AWS developer, it's very easy to learn the other two. But if you are from the other two, it's relatively tougher to learn AWS. Okay, so my suggestion to you would be, if you are going into cloud, you should go further with the AWS solutions itself. The last one is the DevOps. The DevOps engineer is someone, so once you have deployed your code to your backend code to the cloud itself, your front end is ready, everything is done. Now what happens when 1,000 people start using your application? The server won't be able to handle all these requests at a time, and your application will crash. You don't want to do that. Does it happen that you are using Zomato or Netflix, and like 10 people are using Zomato in the entire world and Zomato is crashing? No, it won't happen. Billions of people will be able to use it and nothing will happen to the application itself. That's because of DevOps. So this is called as deployment. Okay, deployment. Okay, this is called as you're deploying the entire code to a cloud itself. DevOps is called as orchestration. Okay, DevOps is called as orchestrating these resources. That okay, if 10,000 people have started using your application randomly, then it's the duty of the code written by the DevOps engineer to deploy simultaneously 10 servers instead of just one. Your application now will run on 10 servers so that it is able to handle 10,000 people. Now, like in an instant, the number of requests went to 100. From 10,000, it went to 100. Now, if you're using 10 servers, you will have to pay for 10 servers. So that code written by DevOps engineer will then orchestrate these servers and bring it back to just one server. Now you will be using one server itself. So to orchestrate all these resources and everything, that is the duty of the DevOps engineer. For this, you need to know CI/CD, okay, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So for Jenkins or something like that would be a total goal. You need to know Kubernetes. You need to know Docker. These are basics. Of course, there are more technologies as well, but these are the basics that you know. And the last type of engineer is the full stack engineer. This was introduced in 2011 or 10 by Facebook. Okay, Facebook introduced this concept of full stack engineers. And what these full stack engineers mean that he needs to learn a bit of UI and UX, a bit of front end, a bit of back end, a bit of cloud, and a bit of DevOps. He is an entire IT department. That is called as a full stack engineers. In the past, yes, there was like demand for just DevOps engineers, just cloud engineers, and still there are a bit of demand for just expertise, but that are just for the experts itself. For freshers, now it's all about a full stack engineer. As a fresher, if you want to get good paying jobs, if you want to get clients from all around the world, you have to become a full stack engineer. So that is the meaning behind a full stack engineer. And in this full stack engineer needs to know a lot, like everything. For example, AWS, CI/CD, Kubernetes, Docker. Then in the front end as well, you need to know React JS, Redux. In the backend engineering, you need to know JavaScript, Node.js, Express. Only then you will be able to call yourself a full stack engineer. And that is it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. For backend engineering, JavaScript is much more better. For a front-end developer, is it necessary to come from IT background? No. For one of the best thing with one of the best thing with web development in general is you don't need to learn. You don't need to be from a core branch or an IT branch or anything. You don't even need to be from college as well. You just need to learn full stack development. Okay. It takes 3 months of total like 1.5 hours each day to complete full stack web development in its entirety. That is the time that you need to invest. Can you please repeat cloud engineer? The cloud engineer is basically all the code that you have built, you need to deploy it somewhere to the cloud itself. By cloud, I mean AWS, Amazon Web Services, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, or Azure, that is by Microsoft. So these are all the platforms where you can send your code to live on a particular computer provided by these companies, and you will be using those platforms, those resources itself, not your own. That's the idea behind a cloud itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till now? Please do let me know, guys. Amazing. Okay, so I won't like proceed from here. I know this is something will off-campus placement recruiters differentiate on branches irrespective of having similar knowledge? Yes, Satyam, that would be the case. Off-campus place, any company would, if two guys are having the same knowledge, then yes, they will be preferring the CSE people over the core people at any point of time. But that's the point. Like, you have to have additional knowledge. You have to go way and beyond if you want to achieve your dream. Now, doing the basics, it's not enough. Okay, doing the basic, it's not enough. Okay, So that's one of the things. Okay, no issues in that. We'll stop right over here. I won't teach more than this for today, because today is just a beginning session itself. Tomorrow we are going to start with JavaScript. We'll be starting from absolute scratch. You don't need to know anything from the beginning. I will be teaching everything in the class itself. You don't have to worry about the same. Okay. Second thing, let me just tell you something about DevTown. So DevTown is an NGO, non-profit organization. We conduct these 7 days free boot camps. We have various different workshops that are currently going on in various different companies as well as in various different colleges. We are having like instructors that are from like every single company that you can imagine. We have people from Google, we have people from Samsung, Amazon, we have people from HP, Porsche. So there are like a lot many number of McKinsey and Company, Accenture, Goldman Sachs. So all these instructors are there. I'm myself and I'm an instructor at DevTown. My name is Shaurya Sinha, and I previously worked in Reliance as well as in Geo as a full stack developer, as a machine learning engineer, and as well as a data analyst. So I have a good experience in various different fields, and I love technology at the end of the day, whether it be physical devices or learning new skills as well. So yeah, so when we are doing all these things, the only thing that we ask from you guys is your support. Okay, you can show your support by liking this video first of all, of course, and joining our other platforms as well. So you can join us on LinkedIn. Okay, we have almost 27,000 people, 27,500 people who have joined us on our profile, and 10,000 followers on our page as well on LinkedIn. So you can definitely join us there. You can join us on our Instagram page as well. Every single day we'll be providing some bit of information. Okay, we'll be providing some code, some projects, some so for example, what is CI/CD? So I used a word today, or that is what is CI/CD. So you can learn about CI/CD. What is it? How is it? Why is it necessary? Okay, all the information has been provided right over here. So what is Scrum, what is advanced Java, where can you learn various different topics from? There's some memes as well that my team has created for some of the entertainment purposes as well. So there's a lot that we are giving to you guys right over here. So definitely join the Instagram page or the LinkedIn page. For those who want daily updates about the bootcamps, upcoming bootcamps as well, you can like join our WhatsApp groups. Okay, or you can even join the let's say the Telegram group that is down in the description of this video. Okay. Right now, we are going to start off with the attendance. So what is the attendance criteria and how to grade these certificates? What are the different certificates? Everything else. Like I said, there are 3 certificates that we give out. Okay. The first one is not related to the bootcamp. The first one is for the people who had completed the final registration. Those students will be receiving a certificate from DevTown, saying that so DevTown is an NGO, and we will give them certificates that they have helped our company to grow and reach out to more number of students. They have helped our company, like they have been a part of our community. That's an appreciation certificate that we give out to the other students. You can do the final registration for any of the upcoming events as well to get those certificates. It's relatively very easy to get. Okay, the second thing is the second certificate. The next 2 certificates is related to the bootcamp. So there are 7 days. Okay, each day we'll be having an attendance. I will show you how to fill up the attendance right now. So those students who will be having 100% attendance, that is 7 out of 7 days of attendance, those students will be able to get a certificate via DevTown saying that they have completed the JavaScript and React.js bootcamp of 7 days with us. At the end of every bootcamp, there's one project. Okay, we will be doing that project live in the class. So you don't have anything like, okay, I don't know how to do the project or not. You can refer to those videos to make that project, and then you will have to submit that project. We'll provide you the information that will be available on all the WhatsApp groups as well as the Telegram channels. If you are not able to join the WhatsApp group, the link to the Telegram channel is down in the description. You can join that. The project submission form will be circulated on the Telegram channel as well. Okay, you will have to submit the project. So those students will be having 7 days of attendance, will be able to get the certificate from our end, that is DevTown. Those will be having 7 days of attendance as well as the correct project submitted. Okay, they will get a certificate via Google developer groups saying that they had completed 7 days bootcamp on JavaScript and React.js. Okay, so that is how it will happen. So now that is the entirety of the certificates as well. The certificates take almost 1 to 2 weeks after the bootcamp to end to be sent out, because we'll have to check all the projects that have been submitted. Where to submit the project, we'll give out a Google form where you will have to submit the project. How to submit the project, I will be able to show you at the end of the bootcamp, and we will be completing the project as well. You don't have to worry about the same. Okay, attendance link is something that will be given on a daily basis. You will have 24 hours every single day. A new attendance link will be given. You'll be having 24 hours to fill up that attendance link. Okay, you will have 24 hours. So for example, if you have missed today's class, you still have 24 hours to watch today's class and fill up the attendance link. Okay, that is one of the first things. Secondly, the certificate has value, but the certificate will only have value if and only if you guys are not cheating. What do I mean by that? For example, I'm circulating the attendance link right now. I'm showing you guys the attendance link. Now you are circulating it within your friends. Okay, you're circulating it on like the live chat, you're circulating it on the like comment section, you're circulating it on WhatsApp groups. In that case, you attended the entire 7 days, you completed the project, you submitted everything, you got the certificates that you deserved. But those people who are not coming to the boot camps, they are not learning anything, they are also able to receive the certificates. Now what is the difference between the two of you? Nothing. Now that certificate has no value. The certificate only has value if given to those people who actually deserve it. The value of the certificate is in your hands. If you want that certificate to carry value when you're putting it in your resume, then please do not circulate the attendance link. Okay. The second thing is, so I will now show you the attendance link. The attendance link is something that I'm showing you right now. Let me just check, send URL. So this is the attendance link that you are able to see on my screen. Take a screenshot of the attendance link. Take a screenshot of the attendance link. You can use Google Lens. Okay, I hope that everyone is having an Android device, or even if you're having an iOS device, you can directly open your camera and it will work. So if you're having your Android devices, open the Google Lens. Okay, take a screenshot for this, scan the screenshot, you will be able to get the Google form link. Check the spelling. Okay, if it's a capital H, it's a capital H. It shouldn't be replaced by a small h. It's case sensitive. Okay, so put in the form, fill up the form. Okay, as soon as you have filled up the form, it will be considered as your that day's attendance. Okay, this is how you have to fill your attendance on a daily basis. Please do not circulate the link. The link won't be circulated by us anywhere. If you are circulating the link, it's your loss, not ours. Try to understand this. Okay, and the link for our LinkedIn page as well as for our Instagram page is in the description of this video itself. You can go down and find the link there. I hope that everyone has taken a screenshot of the link. I hope that everyone has taken a screenshot for the link. I'm able to see that 3 responses have already been there. Okay, we have already got 3 responses. Okay, we have already got 18 responses. That means the link is working absolutely fine. There is no issues with the link. As you are able to see, we have got 22 responses. There is no issues with the link. Okay. Okay, great guys. So we'll end the session today right over here. Tomorrow we'll meet again at 8:30 and we'll continue with the same. Okay. Thank you so much guys. Thank you. Have a great night ahead. Okay. Please can you help me? I'm a Python beginner. I have an error. I'm using export play sound. It gives me an error that my path or the file name is incorrect. Please help me out. Rishi, try to do a search for the same. Okay, most probably you have put some of the backslashes and the front slashes differently. You are not on the correct path. To do that, just go on Google, search for the same. You will be able to find it. It will be very easy. Okay, use Stack Overflow for the same. Okay. The final registration certificates will be given after 1 week of the end of the bootcamp, guys. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Have a good day ahead. Thank you. Thank you.